So, John, coming to theatres this December 18th to be precise, it is Dune Part 3, and this is the official teaser trailer, which has just dropped as we are recording this, John. So we're pretty much on it for a change. We're not 2-3 days out of sync with the rest of the world. But, John, it's only dropped. It's 2.5 minutes long. That's quite long for a teaser trailer, for a Western teaser trailer. As people know on this channel, we do a lot of reactions for Indian content as well, which everyone who follows that knows that those trailers do last a little bit longer than the Western ones. But for a teaser,
like a feature-length film.
I'm going to say a lot of information is going to be passing along this screen in a moment, John. But yeah, the gang are back. I'm not going to go through who directs this. I'm not going to go through the cast. We all know we all love Dune. We all love Part 1. We love Part 2. I think I prefer.
If a jump in this one, though, isn't there? If I'm correct in saying there's a time jump. I think some shit has transpired since the events of the second film.
I do assume Anya Taylor-Joy is going to have a larger role in this one than she did in the second one. John, I'm looking forward to this. Didn't know this was happening this year. I knew there was something in the works, but I didn't know we were this close. I certainly didn't know this trailer was dropping.
And coming out December again, which is a great time to release a film of this ilk. Yeah. Star Wars kind of did that with The Force Awakens, I want to say, and it's now became a sort of blockbuster release slot outside of summer. Now, Christmas, where you've got legs galore, Avatar as well. Steve, I'm really looking forward to it. I love the franchise. I think Denis has worked absolute wonders adapting this story. It was deemed the unadaptable story. It was so dense and so complicated what Frank Herbert had delivered in novels, in the novel form, that a lot of people thought it was impossible to make this into a 2.5, 3 hour experience for the silver screen. And what Denis done in Part 1 and Part 2 is nothing short of remarkable. True masterpieces, epics that deserve to be experienced on the biggest screen possible. And I'm really looking forward to this finale, because I think he's confirmed it will be a 3-picture experience, a trilogy, and he's done. You said it, Stephen, you alluded to it. 5 years this guy's produced 3 films. It's unbelievable what he's accomplished in that time frame. Other franchises are an absolute embarrassment by comparison. But look, shall we dive into any copyright issues? Incidentally, you can go over to our Patreon, which we'll get the link for in the description, and that will allow you to watch it free of charge. We'll put it up there if there's any copyright shenanigans. With that out of the way, Stephen, shall we press play though? And a 3, and a 2, and a 1, play. Make sure it's in 4K, and it is.
If we have a girl, what will we name her?
Shmi.
Her name should be Ganima. She would need to be strong, like her mother. What if it's a boy?
I would name him Plato. So he would have the wisdom of his grandfather.
War feeds on itself.
Get out.
The more I fight, the more our enemies fight back. I'm doing the best I can to protect my family.
I love the simplicity, the sort of hand-to-hand combat in this franchise.
How did Father do it?
Yeah.
Your father never started a war.
Just brutally betrayed.
must not die. Yet.
Wow.
What a cast.
Yeah, unbelievable.
What a
Stephen,
video.
it's just reeks of epicness.
Yeah.
Just everything, the shots, the sense of scale, the music from Zimmer, the presence of Chalamet. Like you said, the ensemble performances. It's
John,
just
it's,
such a great franchise.
Yeah, it's tonally, it's I expected more of the same from same as part 1 and part 2, and it's just those right ingredients of having that. I want to say it's a perfect cast because I think it is. I think they've casted really well in this franchise. Denis Villeneuve as a director. There's not many directors could handle that sort of epicness in terms of storytelling and doing that. The only one I can think of is probably Peter Jackson that could do that with a major story, and do it in a very short space of time. A 5-year span, and it's I think looking at that, it was everything I thought it would be. There's certainly, I think there is a time jump, as you said, and there's some unfinished business between these characters as well. But the Hans Zimmer score for me is what really makes this film franchise work for me. I think it plays such an important role in terms of creating that atmosphere, and creating the soundscape for these worlds. And I can't wait to see this, John. We did a review, obviously, on part 2 not that long ago, or feels like not that long ago, maybe a year ago or whatever it was, a year and a half ago. And I think both of us agreed it was probably the best and biggest sequel since The Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah, that was an epic experience, Stephen, going to see that in the theatres. As the first one was, but the second one I thought he really stuck the landing and gave us a brilliant conclusion to the initial book, the story.
Yeah.
I never went back and completed the novel. I read roughly half of it. And I have to say, what an experience watching it in the theatres and being able to identify the rooms, the characters, what was going to come. He'd done such a great job of vividly bringing it to life that I had seen the previous film from the 80s. I hadn't seen that film, obviously, prior to its release. And I could recognise what was happening from the novels. And to be fair, I usually do it the other way. I'll watch the films and then read the novels, and then that kind of clouds my judgment. What the characters sound like, what they look like. So that was probably maybe an experience Harry Potter fans had, Lord of the Rings fans had, where they'd read the novel and recognised things. It was the first time I'd experienced it, and what a job he did. Stephen, I didn't even recognise Robert Pattinson. I had to search him up. Skytail.
Yeah.
He looks like Paul Bettany from the 1990s. He looks like Paul Bettany.
Yeah, he looks like your man from the second part.
Austin Butler.
Yeah. Looks a bit
That's a great job they've done with this franchise. The villains have been just expertly cast.
Yeah.
Stellan Skarsgård, I believe. Dave Bautista, Austin Butler, and now Robert Pattinson. Really high caliber actors coming in.
I think they've had
villainous turns.
Yeah, because obviously, I think we've lost a few characters as well, John, a few actors along the way. So
Duncan Idle's back.
Sure that you're bringing in the same caliber of actor, haven't you? So just to keep those sort of the levels of quality up there in terms of casting, and they've certainly done that. And I think it's a good thing to keep the momentum going as well. A lot of franchises kind of drop off after maybe the first or second film, then another sequel might be 4 or 5 years away. I'm looking at you, Spider-Man. And sometimes that momentum might be a little bit lost in people because, it's been 5 years, obviously, since the last Spider-Man film. And my concern is that a lot of people, as big as Spider-Man is, there's maybe a generational thing, maybe a drop-off on that now. But in terms of this, I'm glad this is coming fast and furious because I think it's the right thing to do. Strike while the iron's hot. It's only been, a year and a half, 2 years since the part 2 came out. So that it's the right time to do it. Very much like the original Star Wars trilogy came out, in the space of 6 years. So it's the same kind of time span. You've got to do it and you've got to keep that momentum going. And I think that's probably been one of the reasons this has been working in the background, But I'm glad it is.
I think it helps Stephen that Villeneuve himself is a massive fan of the novel, so the guy understands the story. and he's obviously well versed in where it leads to in terms of this particular film. And obviously Dune Messiah from '69 is a novel it's based on. So he's mining out of that. He's passionate and wants to tell a story. And he wants to tell it as quickly as possible because he knows how turbulent modern Hollywood is in terms of studios biting the bullet, being taken over, political stuff, and how that can affect films being made. So he's struck while the iron's hot. And Stephen, I have to say that trailer looks incredible.
Yeah.
I don't think this guy's released a bad film in his entire career as a director. Every film I've seen this guy release has been phenomenal.
Yeah.
So I've got real high hopes for this. I think it'll stick a landing and it will join the sort of pantheon of great trilogies.
Yeah, I mean,
certainly Hollywood trilogies.
You know, I think we use this phrase, maybe it's overused in terms of event directors, John, but he certainly is one of them.
He is, yeah.
But very much like Chris Nolan. He's done 3 films of the same franchise. He'll want to do other things. So you can understand why he's making it a trilogy. He doesn't want to stretch it out any longer than it has to. Probably shouldn't anyway. But, you know, he's such an experienced and quality director that he'll have other plans. He'll want to try other things, experimental films, independent films as well as the big blockbuster ones as well, you know?
Absolutely. What's your thoughts, though, guys, on Dune Part 3? What's your thoughts on the official, Christ almighty, I can't speak tonight, official teaser, trailer? Share your thoughts down, but that's not even a teaser, that's a trailer. That's a full-blown trailer, 2.5 minutes long. Share your thoughts down below in the comments section about the film, about the cast, about the overall vibe, about the score, about Denis, about our reaction. Anything you want to share, pop it down below in the comments section. Like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications, and until next time, what's left of us said, thank you for watching us, and bye-bye.